Join me now is Bob Beers, Bruins radio analyst from 98.5 The Sports Hub. We just did such a Maxwell a little while ago, and he was happy, all smiles.
Winning.
Yeah. What happened to you guys?
What?
What happened to you?
They got beat by a better team. The fact that they got past Toronto was important. They 7 games it took them, and they made one more play than the Leafs did. They had a chance in Game 6. I thought it was a pretty good game. There were certain things along the way that didn't go their way, but I think Florida was the better team, deeper. They beat them last year, and the Bruins were really good last year. So, Florida's good. The Bruins have some things that they need to clean up, and they'll try to do that here in the offseason.
I'm playing around with you.
I know you are.
Expectations of
good on the Celtics. So Max is standing right over there watching us here.
I had to do that. Hey, expectations of this hockey team.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they surpass expectations? Did they underperform? Yeah. Did they overperform? Or were they at?
I think they surpassed. I think a lot of people going into the season figured that they would fight for a playoff spot, and they were past that. They had, 109, 110 points, whatever it was. They finished second in the division. That was a little higher than I thought that they would, really. And that's a great sign moving forward because they've got some young players that gain some valuable experience here heading into next year. They got some guys that, when you look at the team at the start of the season, now you look at the team that ended the season, there's a number of different faces in there. And cost-wise, it's pretty reasonable rate. So moving forward, I think that they've got a good nucleus, a good base, and then they have to make a couple of changes here moving forward. They'll have to, and just based on free agency.
Well, let's talk about free agency. Let's talk about those changes moving forward. Jake DeBrusk, let's start with him. Is he going to be here or is he not going to be here?
I don't know, Steve. That's a great question. He was really good in the playoffs, numbers-wise. If you look at his points. And he didn't have the regular season that they probably wanted or he wanted, but the numbers in the playoffs were there for him, and that can't be discounted. So I think that that's probably the biggest question mark for them here moving forward, and what happens with Jake.
And then Linus Ullmark, the goaltender.
Well, that might be the second
biggest.
1 and 1A, I guess,
you're
right?
talking about a guy who, just a year ago won the Vezina Trophy.
And there were a lot of rumors at the trade deadline that they were going to move him. I think Swayman's play, they platooned during the entire season, and it proved to be really strong, right? The goaltending gives them a chance to win every night, or just about every night. Swayman in the playoffs. So if you go into a season next year, if you do trade Ullmark, if you go into a season next year and you play 3 games a week, Swayman plays 2 out of the 3, I think that that's more than doable, and I think he'd be happy with that. So signing Swayman, what you do with Ullmark, and then what you do with some of the other question marks that they have here moving forward in terms of position, how to improve.
They have money this year, so
well, and if they do move somebody like an Ullmark or somebody else, they're going to have even more money.
Biggest need, another goal
center. Yep, I think. Last year you lost Krejci and Bergeron and Nosek, but he was a fourth-line guy. So I don't mean to, no disrespect, but you lose Bergeron and Krejci, that's a massive loss. I think Coyle and Zacha did a nice job this year, and Geekie filled in that role as well. But I think that if you can add somebody there, certainly somebody that can win more faceoffs and be more of a in control when they're out on the ice, to be able to, like Bergeron, when he was out there, you always had confidence, right? And it's not a disrespect to Coyle and Zacha. I thought they did a great job during the regular season, but I think you can fortify that position. You'd be much better off.
I want to talk about Jim Montgomery and the job that he did, the head coach. How do you think he did, and his job in jeopardy? I don't think it should be.
I don't think so. I mean, he was last year's coach of the year, and then this year, I think if they lost in the first round, there would have been some question marks, right?
Right.
But I think the fact that they went 6 games, second round. I'm a fan of his. I'm a friend of his. So full disclosure.
No, I get it. I get it.
I think he did a good job. I think he had to do a lot more coaching this year because last year's team just cruised.
Right.
This year there was a lot more coaching involved. You had the leadership kind of turnover with Marchand taking over, which he did a nice job at.
Marchand did a great job as a captain.
He did. Marchand,
McAvoy, himself in.
Pasternak, those are the leaders now, and then you've got some other guys who have been here for a while that also take over leadership roles. But I think Montgomery did a very good job this year with this team because you asked me at the beginning, did they overachieve? I think they did in terms of where they ended up in the regular season. Yes.
Thank you, my friend.
Good to see you, Steve.
Good to see you, too.
Yeah, I won't see you again for a little while.
I know. Don't I know that?
Rondo.
Marshawn.
There you go.
All right. All right, Beersy, thank you.